Good afternoon and welcome to News Hour. I am David Patrick Kamara. Coming up in this edition of News Hour, the Sierra Leone Maritime Administration begins training on the safety of non-conventional ships and review of the maritime legislation. A team from the Chinese Center for Disease and Prevention visits Sierra Leone. An access to NIG project begins demolition of structures along the Black Hole Highway, and the Western District Council of the Assemblies of God Church Sierra Leone starts its 2016 convention. More on those stories, including business and sports, are lined up in this edition of News Hour. For our first story this afternoon, a high-profile Chinese medical team from the Center for Disease Control and Prevention, led by the Deputy Director General Chinese Center for Disease Control and Prevention, George Fugao, has called on President Anis Kamara at State House. Razia Kamara sent in this report.
In the delegation, Minister of Health and Sanitation Dr. Abubakar Fofana said Sierra Leone's bilateral relationship with the People's Republic of China dates more than 40 years ago and has been characterized by reciprocal dependence and mutual respect for the two countries. The minister maintained that the contribution of the People's Republic of China to the country's socio-economic development are visible than any other partner the country has. He went on that on the part of Sierra Leone, it is one of the countries that is steadfast and consistent supporter of China, both at the international stage of the Security Council and the One China policy. Recalling the peak of the Ebola outbreak in Sierra Leone, Dr. Fofana said when it was realized that the spread of the virus has gone beyond their capacity, President Anis Kamara put a call to the international community for support.
That the Chinese government has for the government of Sierra Leone through the Ministry of Health. And then one of two of the big packages is the construction of the Regional Center for Disease Control and Prevention at Jue. We were there yesterday, we finalized the land issues and everything. And the second big project is the construction of a new Ministry of Health and Sanitation building at New England. So we are going to flatten all those colonial flats, wood houses.
Briefing the president on the purpose of their visit, the Deputy Director General Chinese Center for Disease Control and Prevention said his first trip to Sierra Leone was when they came to complement government's effort in the fight against Ebola. He maintained that when they opened the laboratory in 2014, they did the job at the Jue Hospital. Mr. Gao informed President Anis Kamara that the delegation is here to strengthen further collaboration, especially in the post-Ebola recovery program. The Deputy Director General disclosed that they want to build a biosafety laboratory at Jue where they have free land to give jobs to Ebola survivors and to help do something together with Sierra Leonean doctors on surveillance and also for hospital and laboratory diagnostics.
We had a plan. We are going to have a building for the tropical disease center just at the site in the Jue Hospital, just beside our BSL-3 lab there. And more importantly, we also want to seek some further collaboration for the personal training. So in our opinion, in addition to all these facilities and all this work we are doing together with the Sierra Leone health workers, it's important to have people well trained, to be really prepared, and for the in case for the next infectious disease outbreak whatsoever. Because for China, we learn a lot from the 2003. We have our own problem with SARS. During that time, we also sacrificed a lot of the Chinese people there. But we learned a lesson. We learned from our experience. I think that's very important. We can share with Sir and Your Excellency, with the surrounding people.
Welcoming the Deputy Director General, Chinese Center for Disease Control and Prevention and Delegation, President Ernest Bai Koroma expressed delight to have them back in Sierra Leone and thanked them personally and team that came to the country in 2014 when Ebola was then out of control. The President noted with appreciation that it was a personal sacrifice for anybody to leave his safety zone and come to a war zone to help the government and nation. In that regard, President Ernest Bai Koroma added, now that Ebola is behind the country, they should, as a government and nation, thank them because they have contributed to transforming their status to an Ebola-free country. President Ernest Bai Koroma also expressed thanks to the delegation for coming to help assist the government in the post-Ebola recovery programs. The President disclosed that one such sector that they have identified to be strengthening is the health sector. He noted that they have to build a resilience in the health sector and make it very strong such that in the event the country has any future emergency of an epidemic, they will have the capacity to respond or hold it at bay until other people come and provide them with the assistance that is required.
I want to assure you that the country and our people are very much appreciative of these efforts. And these are great efforts for us because sharing experiences, providing us support in training, building our institutional capacity in equipment and also structures is all in line with our program on moving the Ebola recovery process forward. Just yesterday, I launched the 10 to 24 months second phase of our Ebola recovery. And of course, these are just the issues that we have already identified. That's issues that we have to run with to ensure that we have a very, very capable.
Meanwhile, the Chinese government is to construct a proposed headquarters for the Ministry of Health as well as a medical research center. This disclosure was made during the presentation of a visibility assessment study to the minister and senior officials of the ministry. Joseph Stanley reports.
Presenting the feasibility report, the head of delegation and structural engineer, Zhang Tiju, maintained that the infrastructural project is geared towards strengthening the health sector, especially to ensure conducive working atmosphere for healthcare providers. He pointed out that the Chinese government has done a lot for national development, especially the health sector, and expressed the hope that on completion, the structure will be part of Chinese legacy in Sierra Leone. Mr. Tiju revealed that a part of the infrastructural development, they intend to establish a sustainable development project, including the training of local experts with a view of boosting the human resource capacity in the health sector. Health and Sanitation Minister Dr. Abubakar Fofana described his ministry as the largest workforce in the country and that the government has prioritized the health sector and depend on the ministry to actualize its vision. He disclosed that the ministry is faced with several constraints, among which he said is conducive working environment, and that the project initiative is laudable as it will address the difficult circumstances they work. The minister informed his colleagues that the development is for the future generation, as it is in line with the government's agenda for prosperity.
We are not only doing this for ourselves. We are not only happy about this development because of ourselves. but because of future generations to come.
Yes.
Maybe by the time they finish the building, most of us will not be here today. Yes, by the time they finish, most of us will not be here.
Dr. Abubakar Fofana thanked the Chinese government for its continued support to the country and assured them that their efforts will not go unrewarded. SLBC News Joseph Stanley reporting.
The Access to Energy project implemented by the Ministry of Energy has begun demolition of structures under the high-tension cable at Blackwell Road and Wellington in the east end of the city. The exercise is being carried out by the Environmental Division of the Freetown City Council with security from the Sierra Leone Police. Ibrahim Samura reports.
This is the final demolition exercise of affected and makeshift structures for the full commencement of the Access to Energy project implemented by the Ministry of Energy. The exercise has been carried out by the Environmental Division of the Freetown City Council with security from the Sierra Leone Police. According to the communication specialist of the project, Mamadi Gobe Kamara, the demolition exercise was in pursuant of the implementation of the Access to Energy project with funds provided by the World Bank designed to upgrade electricity power lines at Wellington and Blackwell Road communities. She said at the end of the project implementation, there will be an increase in energy supply in these targeted communities.
This demolition exercise that you see now is a combination of series of activities that we have taken as a project. So we have been having engagements with the project affected persons since we started the project in 2014, and we have been having engagements with them, telling them about the dangers of living under the transmission lines.
Madam Gobe Kamara stressed on the dangers of residing under the high-tension cables, saying that the affected owners have been compensated and series of meetings were held with them before the demolition exercise. She said about 100 houses and makeshift structures will be demolished and that negotiations started in 2014. The communication specialist told SLBC that the demolition exercise will last for 2 weeks and admonished the affected people to cooperate with the demolition team. Speaking to SLBC, the affected people supported the demolition exercise as it is done in good faith to fast-track development on one hand and save lives on the other. SLBC News, Ibrahim Samura, Freetown.
The National Commission for Social Action has concluded training for facilitators at the Port Loko district. The facilitators will be frontline staff to implement the second phase of the Sierra Leone Community-Driven Demand Project in their respective communities to champion the promotion of rural growth. Sento Cabo reports.
Chairman Port Loko District Council Munir Fofana said NACSA is a community development drive machine in the country. He told participants to make good use of the training and work hard for more laurels for the commission. The parliamentary oversight representative, Honorable Philip Kagbo, described NACSA as an agent of change, and as parliamentarians, they welcome development activities in their respective constituencies. Representatives from the minority and majority leaders of parliament also lauded the activities of NACSA, stressing that participants take the training seriously. The commissioner of NACSA, Ali Badara Mansari, said NACSA has successfully implemented the first phase of the project based on the success of the achievements. The Islamic Development Bank provided the funds for a scale-up of the project to the second phase. The second phase, he went on, demands the recruitment and deployment of experienced facilitators.
This project contributes towards dense infrastructure. There's been a lot of community and social and economic structure. We also create groups of women where we will give money. We call them micro-enterprise groups and self-help affinity groups, SAGs and MEGs.
During technical sessions, the lead facilitator, Director of Social and Economic Activities, James Harding, admonished participants to take the training seriously as it will give them the understanding of how NACSA operates at field, regional and headquarter levels. NACSA, he went on, is an institution of excellence and want to have the right staff on board. Modules presented range from evolution and overview, cycle management, community-driven demand, sub-project processes, and the role of IEC in project implementation. As part of the Commission's commitment towards ensuring that the most qualified staff are recruited and deployed, a comprehensive test was conducted that captured all the modules that were covered during the training sessions. Deputy Commissioner of NACSA, Haja Aisatu Kamara, told participants that they should strive to maintain the already high performance rating of NACSA. She said the session was conducted to ensure that NACSA provides the relevant skills and tools that will enable them perform effectively.
The Minister of Information and Communication, Mohamed Bangura, has said Sierra Leone is fully committed to digitalizing SLBC as there is the political will to move from analog to digital television in line with the government's agenda for national development. He made a statement at the ongoing China-Africa Media Cooperation Forum in Beijing, China. The forum provides a trustworthy decision-making basis for African governments in a bid to develop policies and regulations that push for digitalization and post-digitalization improvement, and at the same time uphold exchanges and teamwork between African and Chinese media organizations. Minister Bangura said he has been having discussions with Star Times, a Chinese company, for the digitalization of SLBC. Minister Bangura thanked the government and people of the People's Republic of China for the outstanding support they gave to Sierra Leone during the Ebola outbreak. The meeting saw the attendance of the Director General of the Sierra Leone Broadcasting Corporation, Elvis Banabom Hallowell, and Mohamed M. Jallo, Director of Communications, E-Governance. You're watching News Hour on the Sierra Leone Broadcasting Corporation. The Chief Nursing and Midwifery Officer, Husainatu Koroma, has stressed the need for nurses and midwives to provide competence-based quality service at all levels to save lives. She made a statement while delivering the keynote address at the graduation ceremony of nurses at the St. John of God Catholic Nursing School at Malompo, Lonsal, Port Local District. Joseph Stanley reports.
Since the establishment of the St. John of God Catholic Nursing School in 2007, over 500 nurses have so far been trained. According to the Chief Nursing and Midwifery Officer, these graduates are going to add to the health workforce despite some challenges in recruitment. Ms. Nkrumah disclosed that despite the gains government has made in the health sector, child and maternal mortality remain high in the country. She added that these poor indicators are as a result of a range of implementation challenges, including the critical shortage of health workers that the country is facing. The Chief Nursing Officer explained about plans to develop the nursing and midwifery profession, citing the establishment of additional midwifery schools in Bo and Kenema district. She congratulated the recipients of certificates and awards for their achievements, and that the certificates and awards will be inspiration for more work.
Congratulating our graduates and also the recipients of certificates and awards for this great achievement. But do not rest on your oars, but let the awards and certificates be an inspiration for more work. You will only be rewarded by the Almighty God, as no prize is sufficient enough for the work we do as nurses.
Delivering the school report, the principal, Brother Michael Kuruma, said the school was established among others to develop the next generation of innovative nurses to give excellent care in and out of outpatient units, education and nurses research. He maintained that a lot have been achieved over the past years, especially to contribute to the improvement of quality healthcare services by providing trained and qualified competent nurses and midwives for all health facilities in the country. Brother Kuruma expressed gratitude to several benefactors from Italy, Spain and the Netherlands for providing scholarship to many poor students who are graduating and others who are still in school. Paramount Chief by Kobolo Queen of Magampa Chiefdom admonished the guardians that the lives of the clients must come first, and they have been charged with the responsibility to save lives, especially women and children. The presentation of certificates and awards form part of the ceremony. SLBC News Joseph Daniel reporting.
President Ernest Bai Koroma has commissioned the Maboroka electrification project at a ceremony which took place in Maboroka town. Maboroka town has been without electricity for over 30 years. Razia Kamara reports.
Now commission the electrification of Maboroka and in the environs, the first phase, with the hope that this electrification will bring the development, the enhanced service provision at the districts and the environs. And then so now, in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit.
Commissioning the electrification project of Maboroka and its environs, President Ernest Bai Koroma expressed gratitude to the people of Tonkolili district for the large turnout. The president believed that being strategically located, Tonkolili, which is home to the country's largest iron ore mining company and the Adax bioenergy plantation, deserves much more. He pledged further support to ensure that the district fully benefits from his development agenda. President Koroma said Maboroka holds the country's heart of electricity. He commended the people of Tonkolili for the patience and understanding they have shown when the township was without energy for over 30 years. He said this is the first phase of the project, noting that in a not-too-distant future, the second phase of the project will commence, providing energy supply to Matotoka and other communities. Maboroka, he said, is close to his heart, not just because he attended the Maboroka Boys Secondary School, but because the school played a great role in his formative years and prepared him for leadership. President Ernest Bai Koroma catalogued the importance of solar energy to the improvement of electricity supply, which is also part of the second phase of the project. The president maintained that they've also decided to restructure the Ministry of Energy for efficiency and effective power supply through the private sector. He says Sierra Leone has a link with West African Power Pool projects with other countries like Cote d'Ivoire, Liberia, Sierra Leone and Guinea, in which 225 kilowatts transmission line will be spread across 7 districts in the country. He disclosed that phase 2 of the project will include 33 kV overhead cables from Makeni to Boka, linking Bumbuna, the construction of 24.5 kilometer and 33 kV overhead lines, and the installation of 1.6 MVA transmitter in Maboroka town. He, however, warned politicians of the district to divide themselves from petty squabbles which impedes growth and development in the district. He also called on the people to take full ownership of the development projects and ensure detractors are severely dealt with. He commended all those who have played pivotal roles and also the paramount chiefs for their contributions towards the realization of the projects. President Koroma also informed the people about the second phase of the post-Ebola recovery program, as government is committed to get Sierra Leoneans out of the economic difficulty. He said Ebola is now under control and government is addressing the aftermath of the disease.
For all of this and for making this a success. I remember the years we were in a school now, electricity delay. 50 years on now, electricity only, nothing only, this place be pushing Today we are here, we tell God thank you for all effort. So having said that, it is now my own honor for formally commission the electrification of Maguraka and its environment with one project. May God bless this project and may bring electricity permanently for Maguraka.
Minister of Energy, Ambassador Henry, expressed delight over the success of the project as it is in fulfillment of the President's vision to provide electricity for the people of Boka. The minister commended his deputy for working as a family to see the realization of the project. He emphasized working in unity is vital for any institution to succeed, as evidenced in his ministry, whilst assuring President Ernest Bai Koroma that he will leave no stone unturned to ensure that his dream for electricity generation is achieved.
A one for them will increase the light business in this country by 10 times, and they want to make outside electricity. So, in as much as I dey gladly, where I don't get one more thing, the least more work they for do.
Chairman Parliamentary Oversight Committee, Honorable Sulaiman Sise, expressed profound gratitude to President Ernest Bai Koroma for ensuring that energy is achieved throughout the country. He spoke about the vision and determination of the President to provide energy in every part of the country. The Chairman Parliamentary Oversight Committee called on people to refrain from unpatriotic acts and should put hands on deck to develop the country. Minister of Education Dr. Minkai Luba said the people of Magboka and its environs are happy to see the return of electricity supply after 30 years. He told the gathering that President Koroma did promise the people of Tonkolili that his government will ensure that electricity is restored to the township and its environs. Dr. Minkai Luba further commended the President for all the developments that is taking place in the country and praised him for the provision of pipe-borne water, which residents are now enjoying in the township. He also thanked Electricity Generation Transmission Company and the Electricity Distribution and Supply Authority for their support. Paramount Chief Masa Kanamanka III of Kolifaro-Wala Chiefdom thanked President Ernest Bai Koroma for what he has done for his people and the district as a whole. He pointed out that even though there are challenges, they stood the test of time to ensure the successful implementation of the project. The Paramount Chiefs assured President Ernest Bai Koroma of their support at all times and pledged their commitment to provide security for the project.
The Western District Council of Assemblies of God, Sierra Leone, has started its 2016 convention at the church's headquarters, Brookfields. The forum will discuss the successes and challenges of the institution over the years, match a way forward for the advancement of the mission, and elect a new executive. The theme for this year's convention is the power of unity, taken from the book of Psalms 113. Abubakar Bangura reports.
The second biennial conference of the Western District Council of the Assemblies of God is coming at a time when the various churches within the district have seen this year 2016 as a new beginning for the district to rise and shine and be united and do great exploits to succeed in every aspect. The theme for this year's convention, Power of Unity, cannot be overemphasized, propelling force that ignited the enthusiasm to ensure they achieve the desired goals for a unified district that will stand the test of time. Chairman Western District Council Planning Committee Lansana Gome said the theme depicts three major facts, include the power of unity revokes individualism and promotes the general good over personal interest, appropriate responses to ensure future success, and the required knowledge to meet a given task. The chairman called on delegates to be open and frank to deliberate and have a remarkable convention. Representatives from parachurch organizations, including EFSL, PFSL, CCSL, Alliance of Full Gospel Ministers, among others, spoke about the relevance of power in unity, saying if the church is to make great impact in the nation, it should be united. They emphasized the need for effective deliberation through the principles of God's Word, as they will experience the power of God and be united. The theme is not only relevant for the assemblies of God, but the entire body of Christ. Leaders coming together and speak with one voice for the total unity in the church and the country as a whole. They congratulated the leaders of the Western District Council for the convention, which will serve as a breakthrough for the advancement of the district. In her keynote address, Lavan Fatima Tabuya Kamara described unity as the joy in agreement that should be seen in every church. She said if people are walking in unity, God commands his blessings to reign. Mrs. Buya Kamara commended the leaders and pastors of the Assemblies of God for their roles in the church and called on them to endeavor to keep the unity in the body of Christ through the bond of peace. She said as a district, they should arise, for the light of God has come to shine. She said to keep the unity of the church, they should cultivate the attributes of the local church and to be professional in the way they do their business.
I want to remind yourselves, we have what it takes to move this nation to a mighty revival. Procrastination is the thief of time. Arise and shine, for the light is come, and the glory of the Lord is risen upon you.
She said there should be a team spirit, share knowledge and skills, which will serve as a new beginning for the development of the western districts of the Assembly. Mrs. Buya Kamara noted that God is about to do a new thing in the denomination and encouraged members to contribute cheerfully to the advancement of the church. The official opening of this year's convention was done by the General Superintendent of the Assemblies of God Mission, Reverend Tommy Bangura, who admonished pastors and members of the denomination to be united if they want to do great exploits for the Lord and succeed. The convention ends on Friday, 24th of June 2016. SLBC News, Abubakar Bangura, Freetown.
Vice President Dr. Victor Bokarifo has assured the people of Kalang District of government's commitment to develop the district. He was speaking during a two-day tour of the district where he met with stakeholders. Thomas Neal now reports.
As government continues with its development strides, Kalang District has seen improvements in some areas, especially on roadworks and pipe-borne water. Vice President Fo, as part of his visit to the regions, has met with stakeholders of Kalang District to inform them about government plans. Vice President Dr. Victor Bokarifo indicated that government is taking development to every part of the country and called on the leadership and the people of the district to stay focused and be ready to support government's agenda for the good of all. Vice President Dr. Victor Bokarifo disclosed that government, through the Ministry of Health and Sanitation, will soon commence the refurbishment of the Kalang Government Hospital and the construction of a ring road linking Kwenadugu, Kono, Kenema and Kalang districts. He informed them about the launching of the Ebola recovery plan, which focuses on implementing immediate recovery priorities, including restoring health services putting in place an accelerated process to ensure food security, the expansion of water and sanitation facilities, and ensuring increase in economic participation.
But the president, when a good president, the president will know Sababu, he said he not will do that. He want to make the road, he continue from Pendebu, he can Kailong, he go to the Liberia border according to. Now, the simple thing we give now. Look development, it is another box here. Look backwardness and poverty and degradation, it is another box. You take what you want. No, take what you want. We will see this now. As you vote on the development, we will fly and board and move. You know, Kailam, I see solar lights. I see some solar lights. We get more. But now you wait. We want to see you wait. And all the general headquarters, they get solar lights. That's our President Kamara program. We only get them. And we will get more by your way. By your way. If you don't want development, sometimes at 3-4 we can put. That's what I like.
The paramount chief of Luara Chiefdom, Honorable Muhammad Kailunu Baya IV, thanked government for the construction of Kenema Pendebu Road, which he said demonstrates that the APC leadership cuts across political, regional, and tribal lines. He added that the road has been a major economic blockade to the district. The Minister of State is Kamara said the visit of the Vice President demonstrates the important government attaches to the district, stressing that the Vice President has visited the district 3 times since he assumed office.
Everywhere we went, here in Kailan district, the Vice President held a frank discussion with the stakeholders of Kailan, including the paramount chiefs. In the famous Kailan Kotbari, we had a successful, frank discussion with the people. The Vice President made his case very clear that His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Sierra Leone, Dr. Ernest Bai Koroma, loves his people regardless of where they are. It doesn't matter whether they are far-fetched out here in Kailan, in Buedu, in Kwendu, in Luawa Baoma. He loves them all. But what is so notable in the frank discussion, the Vice President made it very clear that the President is not getting that love equally in return from the people of Kailan.
The Minister of Local Government and Community Development, Mahai Kaikai, said government will continue to support paramount chiefs and also ensure that they are well catered for. The Vice President and entourage, which included the Minister of State, Vice President Office, Mohamed Aliba, Advisor to the Vice President, Dr. Django Stevens, and Principal Liaison Officer, Mansour Samura, also visited Luar Bama, where he introduced the APC candidate for the forthcoming parliamentary by-elections in Constituency 001, Madam Narasatu Gobejalo.
This is News Hour live on the SLBC. Up next is the business news with Anna Tukonte.
Hello and welcome to the business update. Kitchen utensil sellers around PZ in the Central Business District are faced with the challenge of heavy rains, which they say is causing them huge loss as they could not open their goods for public viewing. According to these traders, the Freetown City Council, which has been collecting market dues from them, should provide them with market structure which could house them. Joey and Dumbuya visited the area.
Because of all the market to suffer. If the market together, the bill for market, all the bills come on and they fly. the market they sell, you don't fit so. If the rain come, the market they pour. This is what they will find for. This is so fine.
These traders expressed frustration over street trading, which they say they have been engaged in for the past years. Some say that the city council is collecting market dues from them, but much has not been done to alleviate their constraints. The rains, they say, is not helping them in any way, but causing untold hardship, as their goods are always covered to prevent some from getting wet under the heavy rains.
They come to please, because of all not get market, they suffer. If the market to get, they build for market, all the bees come, more than they fly. And there's a more fly, I don't stop it. I don't want to catch ya. Then they get cold under cold. They suffer, that's the money we. This is season, they really suffer. How they not sleep so, not even glad. But they suffer, bang bang. City council, they would expect that they forbid markets from now, and they suffer. We bang bang. One day for now, they forbid markets from me. Right now, they get the council. They can't call all they catch. We bang bang one come out and street, but we not get side for this set. Now they would expect that they forbid table for we, and they forbid shop for me. That's how they manage the life. Me like me, I get 4 picking them, the man don't die. I mean they suffer for they out of this business why they don't get side for sale, now we sell. When they try they can't do all the line, they say now we for when we don't get money for Gideon, they see to market.
That's the business update. I'm Ona Tukonte. Keep watching.
Thank you very much, Ana Tukonte, for the latest in the business. Well, for now, we'll move over to the sport desk and join Francis Bernard for the latest in sports.
Hello and welcome to Sports Update on Newshour. I am Francis Bernard. The journalist who had his microphone thrown in a lake by Cristiano Ronaldo believes negative press might have been the reason for his reaction. Diego Torres of CMTV tried to conduct a live interview with the Portugal forward early this morning when the incident happened. We'll bring you highlights.
Em que Ronaldo está juntamente com Quaresma nesta zona de passagem. Ronaldo, preparado para este jogo hoje?
Well, that was the action of Cristiano Ronaldo towards a journalist this morning. And now to another story. Diego Torres of CCMTV said he is... Sorry, I bring you another story. Lionel Messi became Argentina's leading scorer with a superb free kick as they beat host the USA by 4-0 to reach Sunday's Copa America finals. The Barcelona forward 28 passed Gabriel Batistuta's 54-goal tally with a 25-yard stick. Messi provided the assist for Levazi's opener, then scored his stunner before Napoli's Gonzalo Higuain fired in to make it 3-0 against USA. We'll bring you highlights of that story in our next news bulletin. That's all for Sports Updates, David.
Thank you very much, Francis Bernard, and that's a landmark scoring record for Lionel Messi, the other 5 times world best player. Thank you so much, Francis, for the latest in sport. To end news hour, here once again are the main points. Sierra Leone Maritime Administration has begun training on the safety of non-conventional ships and the review of the maritime legislation. A team from the Chinese Center for Disease Control and Prevention is visiting Sierra Leone. An access to energy project has begun demolition of structures along the Blackhall Wellington Highway. And Western District Council of the Assemblies of God, Sierra Leone, has started its 2016 convention. That's all we have time for in this edition of News Hour Broadcast Live on the SLBC. On behalf of the news editor, Asmi Uba, I'm David Patrick Kamara. For more information about our program, send us an email to contact us at slbc.sl. Up next is Issues in the News. Good afternoon.